All right, guys, welcome to Module 3. In this module, really this is just an introduction to the next couple of modules. In Module 4 and 5, we're going to talk about how to use debt to fund your fix and flips. So I just want to briefly, give an introduction because we're going to talk about two different ways to use debt. So I want to give an overview on debt in this module. It's going to be a little shorter module. Just like every module, we got to give our disclosure. Remember, I am not a licensed attorney, accountant, financial advisor. I'm not a broker. I'm not an agent. I'm not any licensed individual. I'm just a student like you. The strategies and the formulas and all the things that I'm sharing with you in this course are just things that I have learned to use and become very successful using them, and I want to share them with you. So hopefully that's okay for everybody. Let's talk about debt. So let's talk about some of the pros and cons for the investor, or in other words, the borrower, right? That's going to be you. Going out and doing these deals. If you're going to use debt, you're the investor, you're the borrower. So the pros are, it's cheap. In most cases, it will cost you less than an equity partner. And we're going to talk about equity partners in great detail in future modules. So just remember that term. Equity partners tend to be a little bit more expensive, but they require you personally as the investor to take on a little less risk. We're like I said, we're going to talk about that in greater detail later. But debt is cheaper in most cases than an equity partner. There's easy access to debt lenders that are willing to fund fix and flips, and I'm going to teach you some of those strategies as we get into Module 4 and 5. In many cases, it's institutionalized or semi-institutionalized. And institutionalized just simply means it's got a structure a lot like what you're used to with your bank that you bank at. And another one of the pros is the lender has no say in the project. So when you borrow the money, you're going to show them your plan as to what you're going to do with the property, and they could choose to lend or not. But once they've lent you that money, you pretty much have free reign to do whatever you want to do and to make any decisions you want to make along the way. So they have very little operational say in the project. Now let's talk about some of the cons. Debt is very risky to you as the borrower. In fact, it's the most risky form of using other people's money because you have to pay the principal and the interest back no matter what. It doesn't matter if the economy changes. You still owe that money back, plus interest, right? And it doesn't matter if you get ripped off by a contractor or if you made a mistake running your numbers like that. All of the liability falls on you to pay that money back. It creates a safer situation for the lender. So a lot of times lenders will like a debt situation because it's safer for them. They know they're getting an interest rate no matter what. They know that that it's secured by the property, that you're putting up the property as collateral. So at the very least, they can just take the property from you if you can't pay back the loan. And another drawback is the longer it takes to sell your property, the more you pay. So one of the things that we're going to talk about in other courses is the idea of marketing your fix and flip property once it's completed, and looking for a buyer to come in so that you can sell that property and make your profit. Now, sometimes that's a very short process, and sometimes that's a very long process. And a lot of the factors that play into that, you have no control over as the investor. Some of them you do, most of them you don't. So the longer it takes to sell, the more you pay in interest. Time is your enemy when it comes to debt. So hopefully that gives you a good overview of debt. In the next module, in Module 4, we're going to talk about hard money as a source of funds to use to fund your deals. And that is a form of debt that you can use to fund your fix and flip transactions. So stay tuned for Module 4. I will see you guys over there.